Everyone, coming to you live from the Long Beach Historical Society, and to watch this show on YouTube, courtesy of one of the finest videographers in Long Island, our good friend Walter Searcy. It is Halftime Howie taking a tour of the Long Beach Historical Society. So, if you want to watch this show on YouTube, Halftime Howie taking a tour from the Long Beach Historical Society. And besides the great tour, a big event coming up Sunday, and we always like to broadcast the week of. It's the annual Arts and Crafts Fair, and Gene Sondergaard, the chair of that great event, is here to talk about the Arts and Crafts Fair coming up on the Boardwalk Sunday. Welcome, Gene, and talk about why this is going to be a great event this Sunday on the Boardwalk.
Hi, Howie. Thanks for letting me come speak. This is probably our 20th fair, and it's our biggest fundraiser to support the Historical Society, so we really appreciate the support of Long Beach and everyone from around the community to come and see all the great vendors we've gotten together. We have some new vendors this summer. We have a lot of food as usual, and I think that's people's favorite thing. So you have to come out and try the Middle Eastern pita bread, falafel, and hummus, new this year. We also have lobster rolls, clams, shrimp. I feel like a waitress. We have our turkey pie, the pickle man, the fruit smoothies, fried Oreos and Zeppelis, crepes, gyros, souvlaki. You know the drill. Kettle corn, pretzels. And then we have our regular vendors. We have our crafts vendors, homemade tie-dye, hand-painted glassware, leather goods, bags, all kinds of jewelry. I think some of the odd things are neat too. We have henna tattoos, tarot cards, handmade soaps, creams, body oils, and there's people that are selling homemade baked goods, pastas, spices, condiments, Long Beach t-shirts, of course. You could come to our booth and buy them, and many others have them too. Great local Long Beach photographers. You can get your picture taken on the wave, on a surfboard, or in the shark's mouth. There's hand-knitted items, pottery. I could go on and on. Oh, Rescue Inc. is going to be there, and the cat adoption people too. So come on out and see it. There's something for everybody.
All right, that sounds great. That sounds great. Friend Liz Murdy is here again from the Lido Civic Association, and Liz, I wanted to get you involved in this great show about Long Beach history, and where you're located, Lido has a lot of great history as well.
Hi Howie, thanks for having us back to your show. Lido Beach does have a great history, and interestingly enough, my family came to Lido Dunes back in November '52. They built their house. Mom was born in Long Beach in 1926, and Dad in '21 came out here. But they couldn't afford the taxes in Long Beach, so they went to the Lido Dunes, and they built a house there. And as my mom told the story, you built these houses, you were too afraid to go closer to the ocean because there was nothing there to protect you but a small dune. And a lot of those homes were built with no road. You built the home, and you had to walk around the block to try to find your way to the beach. It was a very interesting time back in those days in the early 50s for my family, but I do have people here that came even before them, and one of them is Flo Hausman, and Flo has a very interesting story on how she wound up coming to Lido Beach.
Oh yes, my husband was in World War II, and they built barracks at Lido Beach, right near the golf course, and we were the first family in Lido Beach. It was the veterans housing. And that year, 1947, Governor Dewey was running for president. And he came to my apartment to see my two little rooms that I had with two children to greet us. And from there, they started to build in the Lido Dunes, and we bought a little house. And the house was $13,500. And before they would finish, we had to pay $15,000. And with our taxes and our money paying off the house, it was $99.50 a month. So now our taxes are more than what we paid for the house. But we love it, and the Dunes is wonderful, and we love Long Beach.
That's one of the reasons why we do this show, and I'm blessed to have such an amazing staff such a well-rounded staff. We have Walter Searcy, who's one of the best videographers on Long Island. We have my friend Steve Vaccaro, who's a psychologist who gets deeply involved in all the important issues of the day, from breast cancer to prevention of, last week we did prevention of underage drinking. Tonight he's going to talk about anxiety. It's back to school, so a lot of anxiety for kids. We have Rocco Pasafume, who does a movie review, and we have one of probably the finest musician in Long Beach, Benoit, who every week does an amazing report on the Long Beach music scene and brings fabulous musicians to perform on our show on a weekly basis. And Benoit knows every musician in Long Beach, and it's such a musical town. Next coming weeks, we're going to be previewing Long Beach Jazz Festival. Our friend Steve Adelson, which is coming up in September. And my friend Mayor Minch, who has some great shopping deals in Long Beach and some great stories to tell as well. But Liz, you have some other interesting guests. And I want to hear from Dick Spear, who recently celebrated his 70th wedding anniversary. That's what I want to hear from next, Liz.
Okay. I'm very happy to introduce you to Dick. Dick not only is celebrating his 70th anniversary this year, but he has a big birthday coming up this week, where on Saturday, and it is his number 97.
Liz, can I ask him a question?
Sure.
I want to know the secret, how they've stayed together for 70 years.
Okay, Dick, what's your answer?
What's the secret?
There is no secret. You just live from day to day. You don't know. You're lucky every day that the dawn, sun comes up, you're alive. Flo was telling you about her buying into Lido. I have a story. I had a house in Elmhurst, which I sold in June, and I bought a house in Westchester, being newly built. And the people who were building it ran into trouble, so we couldn't move in, had no place to go, so we had to rent in Long Beach, because my father-in-law had a bungalow, and we went there for the summer, figured that it was over, we would move right into Westchester. I had an insurance office on 42nd Street and Vanderbilt Avenue, right next to Grand Central, so Westchester was the place to move to. However, we stayed in Long Beach, we rented, and one of my children's teachers said there's a house on Matlock Street that is for sale by the builder for himself, but he's unhappy with the area and he wants to move. So she said, I'd like to go look at it. So we went to look at it, and we walked in, and every room is wood panel. And I said, we're buying it. And we bought it. My father-in-law, I convinced him to give me money and he could have a room for the summer. And so that helped pay for the house.
Who was the builder?
And that was 1955. So we're there over 55 years. And I joined the fire department. I was a library board member. And I'm a member of the Civic Association. That's what I do. I joined the Civic Association because I lived it. And Liz's father was very helpful, but he never wanted to be president. It was the funniest thing. He would have been great, but Liz is showing us how. And thank her, we have a good civic association right now. Thank you.
Very well said. Okay. That was great. I want to hear what some of our regulars think. You know, we have some great stories tonight. Steve Vaccaro, resident psychologist, we hear some of these amazing stories of Long Beach history. I think tonight really is a special show for us to meet all these great people and to hear about some fabulous Long Beach history.
Thank you. Thank you, Howie. Just hearing that story is amazing. Just walking around here, looking at the history of Long Beach, where it came from in the 70s, 60s, and 70s, how it was difficulty for the mentally ill and for geriatrics, how people had struggled through that time, and seeing it how it is now. I wanted to open up a question to anybody. how was that transition from the 70s to now? Can everybody talk about that? How that was for people or the differences?
When we were here, the boardwalk was wonderful. Right now, there's nothing on the boardwalk. There were games and rides, and everybody's on the boardwalk. And we did have a bowling center right on the boardwalk, overlooking the ocean. And unfortunately, they tore it down when they wanted to build whatever they wanted on that super block. And it took 28 years with vacant land, no place for children to go. I managed the bowling center for 20 years, and I worked with handicapped children for over 50. And it's a loss. There's nothing, and we went to the city manager the other day and said we have to build up something in Long Beach. Where people come to the beach, but there's nothing to do. You can't get a drink, you can't get a cup of coffee, can't get a hot dog, and we want to bring that back. We want to bring some life back to Long Beach.
I think that's amazing because there is no bowling alley in Long Beach, and the closest bowling alley is actually where?
Rockville Center.
Rockville Center. It would be such a wonderful thing, and based on your experience, to bring a bowling alley to Long Beach one day.
We have Dave and Barbara. Barbara is a trustee, right, here at the Historical Society. Barbara, this really is a great facility. Talk more about the Historical Society and why people in Long Beach should come here and visit.
Okay, first to just start off at the bowling alley, they used to
Bowling
have,
center.
bowling center, they used to have a little place downstairs where they watched the kids, and that was my son's first school, bowling school. That's what they called it. They were going to bowling school. All right, I'm a trustee in the Historical Society, I'm in charge of membership, so I'm gonna give a push for that. It's not expensive to join, it's a wonderful organization, you get our newsletters, you let us know, we let you know what's going on. And we have activities for all ages and all people. We go from tea parties, which is mostly women, few men, but mostly women go for that, straight up until the end of the season. Last year we did a murder mystery play, which was a big success, and we're hoping to do another one this year. We have the craft fair, there's house tours, so there's something for everybody here. And aside from that, the home is just gorgeous. So it's worth your while to come over and take a look. Okay, giving you back to Howie. Thank you.
Absolutely, and came up with the idea to do a show about Long Beach back in 2010. We're now into our second in 2012. And the two rules on the show is number one, stay out of Long Beach politics, and number two, keep everything positive. And this is what the show's all about, to focus on the wonderful history of Long Beach. And I heard a rumor, and the rumor's been circulating around Long Beach, that the book Images of Long Beach is so popular in the 6th, 7th edition that the authors, Roberta and Dave, are even thinking of writing a new book about Long Beach. Dave, let's address those rumors. Because the book has been so successful, when and if are we going to get a sequel book, since the first one has been such a major hit?
Well, Howie, look, my two co-authors aren't here right now, and I'm not going to make a decision on the radio. But yes, it's been a wonderful success. By the way, we will be selling copies. If you haven't gotten yours yet, we'll be on the boardwalk. Roberta and I, hopefully, will be there. I will definitely be there. Roberta's a little right now, but we're going to be signing on the boardwalk. And if you haven't gotten your copy yet, it's really the best illustrated history of Long Beach that's available. As far as the second book, I have to talk to my co-authors.
I love the book Images of Long Beach, and one of my favorite stories about Long Beach, we can't do a show about the history of Long Beach without talking about this. Elephants on the Boardwalk. Dave, let's talk about Elephants on the Boardwalk, because it's one of the great stories of Long Beach.
Well, Howie, William Reynolds, the founder of our city, was a showman. He was a publicist. And what he did was he actually owned Dreamland in Coney Island, which was a big amusement park. And what he did to publicize buying land in Long Beach was he actually walked the elephants from Coney Island over to Long Beach, and they actually helped demolish a couple of temporary housing for workers when they were putting up the hotel, and actually were photographed pulling some timber for the boardwalk, but in fact, that was really just a publicity stunt. They didn't actually build the boardwalk. It was kind of a couple of days they were out here with the photographers, and that was Reynolds just being a publicity genius. But it did actually happen, and we have photographs of it in our book. One of the elephants' names was Roger, but yeah, no, elephants didn't really build the boardwalk, but they were there when the boardwalk was being built.
Another thing that we don't have in Long Beach, but we will have on Sunday night, that my associate Rocco is going to talk about, is there's no drive-in movies anymore in Long Beach. But this Sunday night, a drive-in movie is coming to the west end of Long Beach. Rocco will tell us about that after the break. And Benoit, can we have Benoit here for a second? Our music director, Benoit, after the break, you have brought in an extremely talented female vocalist. Let's get a little preview of what we're going to hear after the break.
Oh, we have Jackie Elise, and she's just a phenomenal talent, great singer. She's promoting a new single, and she's going to tell you all about it when she comes back.
Okay, we're going to take her. Is everybody enjoying the show? And what's the best city in Long Island? Long Beach! All right, we're having a great time. We're going to have a little entertainment, and after the entertainment, we're going to get back to the history of the greatest city, not only in Long Island, in the world, Long Beach. Because once you move to Long Beach, you never leave. All right, I am Halftime Howie. This is Broadcasting at the Beach with Halftime Howie coming to you live from the Long Beach Historical Society on Long Island's first and oldest radio station, 1240 AM, WGBB.